TopMedTalk.
So good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this GE Healthcare little event, special day. My name's Monty Mythen. I'm the Professor of Anaesthesia and Critical Care at University College London, and I'm here in my role as Editor-in-Chief of TopMedTalk. TopMedTalk is a free open source medical education podcast, and we're very lucky to be here recording on the GE Healthcare stand. My colleagues Sol Aronson, Desiree Chappell and the team will be doing interviews over here in the next few days. And we couldn't make this free open access medical education if it wasn't for great companies like GE Healthcare supporting us. Big round of applause for that. Woo! Fantastic. So we're going to hear about 4 exciting new products. I'm going to hand over straight away to Fred Clement, who's going to do most of the talking. And he's going to start by telling us about the first new product that's going to be launched today. Fred.
Thank you, Monty, and very pleased to have you all together here at ESAIC. So very pleased to have you here. I'm Fred Clement, as you said, professor. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer for a business unit at GE Healthcare. And I'm very pleased to introduce a lot of innovation today that we're going to see and discover together.
So I believe you're going to tell us about a new product which is called Portrait Mobile. What's Portrait Mobile going to do for us to make the world a safer place?
So Portrait Mobile is a unique solution. And just before talking about the solution as such, I think we need to reflect a little bit on the number of anesthesia that is happening every year. And we know that anesthesia departments are getting safer and safer. So that's a fact. But when you look at what's happening afterwards, it's a different story. So when we look at the number of deaths that we have globally, due to post-op complication, we are talking about 4 million people. So 4 million deaths that could be prevented for some of them, and it's where we are playing. So when we look at what is happening in the general wards, the spot checking that we all know, it's happening every 6 hours. So if the patient deteriorates, we're going to notice that, after 6 hours, most of the time. So, and it's where we're going to play here. It's moving from being reactive to being proactive. And what we try to do is to have continuous patient monitoring. And it's where we are, bringing new innovation. It's really making sure that the monitor is going to be continuously monitored in the general wards. That's the brand new things.
So you're immediately going to get the question, is it Bluetooth enabled or something similar? Is it remote monitoring? And what variables are measured by the new platform?
So, good question. So, when we talk about Portrait Mobile, we talk about wearable wireless system. And when we talk about wireless, the first question that comes up, it's the quality of the signal. Are you going to be able to measure everything on a continuously basis, with a patient who might be a little bit mobile, So what about the signal quality? And we are coming up with a brand new technology that is called M-band technology that ensures that the signal is well captured on the patient thanks to different sensors and will be, transmitted to a hub and to a central station. So we clearly have embraced, the complete solution is making sure that we are wearable, wireless, with a high quality data transmitted to the central station. So that's extremely important, and that ensures also patient mobility. That's an important point. And Portrait Mobile really reflects the status of the patient. So we are portraying, the patient data with this solution.
And can you just quickly remind us which variables are measured? So I'm guessing respiratory rate, but what else?
So when we start designing the solution, we start asking the question to many of our customers, what is the most relevant parameter that we should integrate in our technology? And then we start looking around, and the respiratory rate was a gold standard based on customer feedback that we had. So we're going to be measuring respiratory rate through a new technology, a dual vector technology. So it's a new algorithm. We're going to measure SpO2 and pulse rate. And with the combination of the three, we are able to have a very high quality data and really reflecting the status of the patient and preventing any deterioration. And just one last thing that I want to add is most of the time, it's not the patient that suddenly deteriorates. It's more the clinician that suddenly notices that the patient is deteriorated.
So that's wonderful. We're very excited. Important variables that are going to be measured. But the next challenge you're going to get, you've solved all those other problems for us, is alarm fatigue. So it's going to be going off maybe appropriately or inappropriately. The nurses are going to get tormented. The doctors are going to get tormented. We could fall out of love with you very quickly. Are you going to help solve that problem too?
Of course. So I think this is definitely something that we are embracing as well, because this is a big burden for many departments, the alarm fatigue. So through a new algorithm, we are able, to reduce alarm because we are detecting when it's really relevant to trigger an alarm. And we have also some alarm notification reporting aspect into it. And it's where we are able to reduce alarm fatigue, for the patient, but also for the caregivers.
Great. Well, I'm sure there'll be lots of questions about that later on. So thank you for bringing that new technology to us to make patients' chances of doing well in hospital much better. And we're really pleased about the alarm management system. So that's great. So I believe you're also launching a new app, a new application. I keep hearing about AOA. You're going to tell us a little bit more about that, please?
So, yeah, we're coming up in the digital environment as well with a lot of new solutions. So AOA stands for adequacy of anesthesia. It's making sure that we are delivering the right anesthesia, the right dosing to the right patient. So we have a long legacy, in developing this concept around SPI, around entropy, around neuromuscular transmission. So we have almost 20 years of experience in AOA. And we are coming up new with a new application to make sure that we can visualize what the clinicians are doing with AOA, anesthesia monitoring, and to drive a little bit more adherence to protocol. So making sure that you can reflect what is happening in the department. And this is where we are coming up. So providing more analytics for our clinician, making sure that they can capture those analytics and make data-driven decision. That's where we are going with our suite of apps at GE Healthcare.
So moving on to the third idea, one of the things that we've been facing recently in the wake of COVID-19 is a lot of people have decided to retire or take a long holiday. The people who are replacing those previous practitioners are more junior, less experienced. So we're quite intrigued by this idea of being able to sort of keep an eye on what's happening more effectively. And we see that in quite a few of the displays, the idea that we'd be able to look on our phone, etc., to see what's happening in the operating room, etc. Could you expand on that idea?
No, I think data visualization is really key. And we all have iPhone in our pocket. So we have been able to come up with a brand new solution that you can see, as you said, on the corner of the booth, is how to make those data visible in your smartphone and how you can supervise multiple OR at the same time. And as you said, a lot of anesthesiologists go to retirement. So we have less senior people and less experienced people in the OR. And those people need to supervise multiple OR. And we have seen, during COVID, a lot of backlog, from elective surgery that is happening. And how, as a clinician, you can supervise multiple rooms at a time, it's very challenging. And where you need to go, it's what CareStation Insight Live is about, is reporting what is happening in the OR on your smartphone. So it's getting data visualization. You can receive notification if something wrong is happening based on the data that we capture from the anesthesia and the monitoring aspect.
And the final idea we're hearing about today is going to loop back on some of those things again and have a little look around. Is something that it says here is called Canvas, which again relates to what's happened in the wake of the pandemic and the increase in patient need. And in these notes I've got here, it talks about an approach for the entire hospital ecosystem. What is an entire hospital ecosystem, and how is Canvas going to help?
So Canvas is a true revolution. So we have seen during the COVID pandemic the need for standardization, because we have seen a lot of nurses, moving from department to another, and that creates some burden at some point. How to handle this monitoring, how to handle this other monitoring system. So that's quite a little bit cumbersome. So we are coming up with a new concept of standardizing, the monitoring ecosystem. So coming up, with a brand new monitoring platform that allow you, to be extremely flexible wherever you are in the hospital. So if you are in the OR, if you are in the ICU, in the PACU, in the general wards, you're going to have the same environment, the same type of product, but depending on the level of acuity that you're looking for, you might have different software loaded in your monitoring system. So it brings you a lot of flexibility, and we are coming up with a new concept that we call flex acuity. So you can flex up, you can flex down, and you can adapt, to a pandemic situation, you can adapt to a variation in your hospital, and it protects as well your investment, because long-term strategy, investing in monitoring platform, you're going to keep it for the next 10 years. So you also have some flexibility on this aspect.
So I see people looking with enthusiasm at what we have on the table here, etc. Now, this is a launch that we're having here today. Is there anything else you want to say about the fact that we're having a launch and a celebration?
So just talking about all those different innovations, I think at the center of what we are doing, we are putting patients. And I think, and I truly believe that we are making all of this, for serving our patients to drive better outcome in that field, ensuring also as much as we can and supporting our clinician to have better patient safety. So this is how it is about. And we are very excited, to have all those innovations that I encourage you to discover. You're going to see there are different corners around this booth. And with that, I want to celebrate this innovation that we have today and for you to enjoy a glass of champagne or a soft drink. So enjoy this time with us, and feel free to come up to our booth for asking questions. Thank you.
Desiree Chappell with TopMedTalk. It has been an exciting year, and there is so much more to come. Now I'm joined here with Monty Mythen. Monty, what is coming up?
Well, next, TopMedTalk are going to be coming to you live from the European Society of Anesthesiology from Milan in Italy. You'll find us on the GE booth in the trade exhibition. We'll be there intermittently. We'll probably pop up in a few other places. So I'm there with Desiree, and Sol Aronson's coming in, and Henry Howe. And after that, Desiree, where do we go?
It is time for the 25th Anniversary World Congress of Perioperative Medicine in London, right? Live.
From the UCL campus to celebrate our 25th anniversary. So that's really exciting. And then I think we've got the next one in August with your organization in America.
It is. It's in Chicago. It's the American Association of Nurse Anesthetists. Monty and I are going to pop up there, have some great conversations, and then it's on to
Dingle. So that takes us into the autumn and winter season. More about that to follow.
And then, of course, we're going to be rounding out the year with the American Society of Anesthesiologists in New Orleans for their annual Congress. So super excited about all the events for the year. Don't miss us. Be sure to check us out on TopMedTalk.com and on your favorite podcatcher. We are there with late-breaking anesthesia and perioperative news. Right, Monty?
Absolutely. See you soon.
Cheers.